Ayan, so good evening po sa lahat ng ating mga listeners sa ating broadcast and also po sa ating mga dedicated na franchise owners. This is Phil Bombita and I will be hosting Training 009 and yung broadcast po na ito is available via YouTube and should in case meron tayong mga demand, pwede rin nating idaan sa Mixler para, mas marami yung makapakinig. Pero for the meantime po, yung initial natin na platform para makita ninyo yung training at mapakinggan ninyo is using the world's most popular video sharing platform, YouTube. So, i-upload po namin ito. And then, after that, ibibigay namin yung link. So, reminders po sa lahat ng mga franchise owners natin from the national, pababa dun sa mga territory managers, sa area, regional, district, city and town, papunta na po sa mga fulfillment centers na please take time to listen to our training. Kasi napakaganda po ng topic natin ngayon. We will be talking about sense and how can the company help you to improve your current financial condition. And in our training, of course, we are still live dito sa ating napakaganda at napakalamig na headquarters in the seaside area of Bacolod City. We are facing Guimaras Strait. So alas 9 po ngayon ng gabi as we are recording this training video or this training file, and siguro naririnig nyo po sa background natin medyo mahangin kasi we are on an open office, nasa third floor kami, and kitang-kita namin yung beautiful Guimaras Strait underneath the bright moonlight, gaya nga ng sinasabi nila. So, siguro po before we start, we would like to welcome yung mga bago nating franchise owners for Sense ngayong week. So, nakita nyo naman po, dumadami at yung mga tao na pumapasok mas qualified, mas dedicated, mas tumutulong at mas alam yung ginagawa nila. So, congratulations and great job to all the franchise owners natin. Thank you everyone for your hard work and for your dedication. There are so many and I could not mention all of them, pero maraming salamat po sa lahat. So, before po tayo magsimula, we would like to reiterate and remind a few things. Yung schedule po ng broadcast natin for Senshop is every Monday. That's from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Yun po yung schedule ng broadcast natin. Live yan. Mapapakinggan nyo po if you log into the internet. You go to Mixler, that's MIXLR/Senshop. Mapapakinggan nyo po siya every 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Monday live, and yung replays naman is every Wednesday and Friday. Also, we would like to emphasize na slowly we are transitioning the leadership to our franchise managers para po mas matrain sila at mas matimpla nila kung ano yung tamang strategy para panghawakan yung mga areas na under sa kanila. So we would highly encourage everyone to watch the trainings and to view the trainings kasi this is for your own benefit. Alam niyo po kasi yung pag-set up ng business, parang ano rin yan parang nag-aaral ka rin sa school. Meron kang mga specific subjects and curriculum na dapat mong i-master at dapat mong mapakinggan. Kasi pag hindi mo siya napakinggan at hindi mo siya na-master, hindi mo alam ang gagawin kapag yung business mo ay lumago na. At syempre naman, kapag hindi mo pinag-aralan yung isang bagay, yung resulta niyan, alam nyo na, medyo hindi maganda kapag hindi ginawa ng preparasyon. Kaya ang ginagawa natin sa mga trainings is we are slowly shaping everyone to have the right mindset when it comes to our business. Kasi alam nyo po, yung puhunan natin dito is not the money. Hindi po pera ang puhunan nyo dito sa atin. Yung puhunan ninyo is the effort. It's the effort to learn the system. Importante kasi yan. Kasi pag hindi mo learn or hindi mo na master yung system natin, ang mangyayari is, well, hindi mo alam kung paano siya i-offer sa mga tao, and the big chance is your franchise will not grow. So, ikaw rin yung mahihirapan. Yung binayad nyo kasi na 1-2, it's just for the IDs, diba? Hindi naman kami kumita dun sa binayad nyo eh. Yung binayad nyo, well, kumita kami ng maliit, pambayad namin sa mga developers, sa nagme-maintain ng site, ganun. Pero majority of that, pumunta yun sa COFO, Certificate of Franchise Ownership in the IDs. So, technically, wala kayong inilabas na pera para pampuhunan. Kasi kami na yung nag-provide ng product. Yung gagawin nyo na puhunan, yung pera nang bibili sa inyo. Yun yung maging puhunan nyo. So, yung kikitaan nyo lang is income. So, very minimal yung risk na tinatawag natin. So, yun. So, very important po yung training. Kaya, we advise that everyone should take the training. Every franchise managers, kung meron kayong mga subordinates, you have to make sure you communicate to them. Gawa kayo ng checklist. You make sure that all of them views the training, they watch the training. Alam niyo po kasi, mahirap sa isang negosyante yung matigas yung ulo eh. No? Mahirap sa isang negosyante yung hindi nag-aaral. Kahit sabihin mo na ikaw pa yung pinakamagaling na negosyante sa buong mundo, kapag hindi ka nag-aaral sa negosyo na ginagawa mo, you will be left behind. You will be left behind. Alam niyo nung I think February or March, lumabas yung list ng richest persons on the planet. And syempre, yung number 1 pa rin is si Bill Gates, followed by Helu from Mexico, and then Warren Buffett on number 3. When you look at, kung titingnan mo po yung listahan ng mga pinakamayayamang tao sa mundo, one thing that they have in common, all of them are avid readers. All of them are avid readers. Lahat sila. Lahat sila bumabasa. Kasi alam nyo, pag hindi mo train yung sarili mo, hindi ka nagbasa, hindi mo inaral yung business, mahirapan ka para palaguin yan. Kasi yung actions mo kasi are dictated by what you know. So, if yung nalalaman mo lang tungkol sa business mo ay, let's say, kakarampot lang, of course, yung output na expect mo, kakarampot lang din. Pero kapag master mo yung business, definitely, yung result na mapuproduce nun is also world class. It's also excellent. So, ganun lang yun. Whatever you have in your mind will eventually become part of your action. So, kung hindi ka nagbabasa, hindi ka nagtitrain, dahil tamad ka or ayaw mo ng ganyan, well, eventually, what will happen is, your actions will not be directed with it. So, nakahihiya po kasi na, limbawa, territory manager, national manager, or area manager ka, nakahihiya na kapag tinanong ka ng provincial manager, hindi mo alam yung sagot, diba? Napakalaking sampal sa mukha niya na, limbawa, tinanong ka, CEO, CEO, or ikaw yung senior director ng call center, tapos tinanong ka ng agent, sir, ano ba yung AHT, or average handling time? Meron kasi kami dati niyan sa call center, So, yung average handling time is yan yung time na sinispend mo in order to answer the concern of the customer plus documentation plus the hold time. So, kung yung imagine mo na lang yung isang CEO, hindi niya alam yung call center. Wala siyang training. Ano mangyayari? Kapag dinanong siya ng agent, hindi mo masasagot yung ano niya. And how can you properly make decisions and create an action plan kung hindi mo tinitrain yung sarili mo? 'Di ba? Ganyan talaga eh. Yung isang business or yung isang businessman na nagsasabi na hindi mo na kailangan ng training para lumago ang business mo ay isang napakalaking engot. 'Yon. Kasi hindi niya alam yung sinasabi niya. Lahat ng business pinag-aaralan. Lahat ng business may research. Lahat ng business may training. Siguro kung gagawa ka lang ng sari-sari store, okay lang yan. 'Di ba? Pero yung ginagawa kasi natin, what we are trying to create here is not just a plain sari-sari store. We are creating an online community of retailers. At napakalaki yung task natin. Kaya importante na lahat tayo is prepared and equipped. Lahat tayo dapat mag-undergo sa training. So yun po yung yun po yung importance ng mga trainings natin. Nasa 9th module na tayo. So I advise you read or you listen to training 1 up to 8. Kasi that will help you decide on very important things and it will help you to become more empowered as a franchise owner. Para po hindi tayo kahiya sa mga prospect, 'di ba? Parang ino-offer mo yung business, wala ka palang alam, 'di ba? Ano 'yun, 'di ba? O kung halimbawa, area manager o kaya regional manager, tinanong ka ng PM, ay RM, ano po ba yung yung tamang gawin dito? Hindi mo alam. 'Di ba? So, mahirap 'yan, no? Parang nakakainsulto na ano ka ba? RM ka ba talaga? 'Di ba? Parang RM ka ba talaga o ano ka? Diba? Kasi bakit hindi mo alam yung mga tanong, hindi mo alam yung mga abbreviations na ginagamit natin, hindi mo alam kung saan yung files. Diba? So, dapat alamin nyo yan. These are the basic things na dapat hindi na namin nire-remind eh. Dapat kayo nagkukusa. Alamin nyo kasi regional manager ka or territory manager or provincial manager, dapat alisto ka. Pag tinanong ng Oy, PM, saan ba makikita yung ganito? Alam mo kung saan hanapin. Diba? Kasi kapag hindi mo binabasa, you don't take time, well, ikaw rin lalabas na kahiya-hiya dun sa mata ng mga subordinates mo, di ba? So, I advise everyone, let's take time, let's read the training. And bago pa tayo magsimula sa training 08, we will take a very short break. This is Phil Bumbita once again. We'll be right back.
The
So, we're back here in our training 009, and once again, this is Phil Bombita, broadcasting live in Bacolod City, the province of Negros Occidental. We are facing the Guimaras Strait. It's 9:20 in the evening. It's cold, and we're seeing the reflection of the bright moonlight in the waters of Guimaras Strait. And sana po hindi kayo magsawa na ako palagi yung naririnig niyo sa training tsaka sa broadcast. I have one very important reason kasi kung bakit ako talaga yung nagtatsaga na mag-broadcast. Kasi I want, as the general manager ng Sense, and as one of the persons who conceptualized the movement of our company, yung pinaka-goal ko kasi rito, kung bakit hanggang ngayon ako pa rin yung nag-handle ng trainings and ng broadcast, even though we have a team that can do this, kasi I want the vision that we have to be transferred to you. I want that vision to be transferred to you. Gusto ko na makita nyo yung business sa isang side or sa isang angle na hindi lang siya pera-pera, na hindi lang siya income-income. And that vision can be best passed on. It can be best given if ako mismo yung magsasalita. Kasi syempre, kung meron ngang isang inventor, tapos naka-invent siya ng, halimbawa, isang machine, yung best person na tanungin at yung best person para i-orient ka about the machine, yung gumawa ng machine. Diba? He's the best person. Pero syempre, in the long run, after we have successfully transferred the vision to majority of our franchise owners, then what will happen is ipapahandle natin yung training sa iba nating team members. Pero po for the meantime, pasensya na kayo. I hope hindi kayo magsawa sa pagkikinig sa akin. Ako pa rin yung mag-handle ng training 09 moving forward until further notice, because of very important reason. We want to maintain the clarity of the vision. Gusto naming i-transfer sa inyo ng diretsahan. No third party involved from us going to you. So we want to have a clear channel of communication na ito yung gusto nating mangyari para sa company. And we hope that in every training, we are able to communicate to you our vision. Ganyan. So, yung training 009 natin, yung i-discuss natin ngayon is kung paano kayo magbenta gamit ang Sense at kung paano kayo matutulungan ng inyong pagbibenta para at least ma-improve yung financial condition niyo. Kasi alam nyo, we have been operating as an online store siguro for mga 2 years locally in Bacolod. And we have been operating on a national scale for almost a week now. So we started April 1, more than a week in fact. And sa ngayon po, what we're trying to accomplish is we want to pass on sa mga tao yung vision ng company, and we want this vision to be communicated to you. Because later on, whether we like it or not, dapat mag-step in yung mga AMs and RMs into the picture para sila mismo yung mag-guide sa region nila para palaguin. And along with that, we have received a lot of questions kung paano po ba magbenta. Paano ba magbenta? Paano namin mabibenta yung mga product na nasa website natin, at paano kami kikita gamit yon. So, I'll start our training with a report na nakita namin sa internet. I think it was published about a week before President Aquino addressed the nation in his SONA in 2014. And yung report na to galing sa SWS, Social Weather Station, and it talks about the current financial condition ng mga Pilipino. So yung laman ng survey, they surveyed people across the Philippines, tapos yung topic nun ng survey na yon is if satisfied ba sila sa pamahalaan ni President Aquino, and if feeling nila na nag-improve yung condition nila. So, doon po sa survey, merong interesting findings yung yung SWS, and it states in their survey that 75% of Filipinos believe that they are poor. Yun yung sabi ng survey. So, kung yung Philippines ngayon, yung population natin in general is about 100 million. So, pagpalagay mo na 20 million mga bata. So, yung mga adults that are capable of working is around 80 million. So, that means 75% of it, ng 80 is mga nasa 60 million. So, ibig sabihin, 60 out of 100 Filipinos believe that they are poor, na mahirap sila, or they belong to the middle class. Yun yung finding ng survey. So, napag-isip-isip namin, sabi namin, every time merong SONA, simula pa nung time ni Ramos, punta do kay Estrada, kay Gloria, hanggang ngayon kay President Aquino, yung laman palagi ng SONA or kahit ng State of the City address ng mga mayors, ng mga State of the Province address ng mga governors, yung laman palagi is magandang balita. 'Di ba? The economy is improving, the economy is this, the economy is that. So lahat ng pwedeng ibinibida na. No? Sabi nila, the gross domestic production improved by this percent, etc., etc. So lahat nun, ginagawa nila ng paraan para ibida sa tao yung scorecard nila na ako bilang presidente, napaganda ko yung ekonomiya, etc., etc. Pero yung iniisip namin, kung totoo, if the government is telling the truth, na nag-improve yung condition ng bansa natin, why is it that the public, tayo, in general, why is it we could not feel it? Bakit hindi natin siya ma-feel? Hindi natin ma-experience yung sinasabi nilang economic growth? Bakit? So, nag-imbestiga kami, and part of our investigation and research led us to the development ng training na to. And nakita namin na about 98%. Halimbawa, para mas clear sa inyo. Halimbawa, yung entire income ng buong Pilipinas in 2014 was 1 trillion. 1 trillion. Sa 1 trillion na to, sa 1 trillion na income, sinasabi ng gobyerno na nag-improve tayo ng 20%. So, ibig sabihin, yung 1 trillion, naging 1.2 trillion pesos. Yun yung sabi nila, yun yung laman ng SONA. Kasi, I think kung nakikinig kayo sa SONA, no? Walang SONA na nagsasabi na, yung economy ko hindi maganda, yung economy natin ganito, hindi nag-work, wala eh. All of the presidents who had their SONA, yung laman palagi is yung magandang balita. Hindi nila inilalagay sa SONA yung mga bagay na hindi ka nais-nais marinig ng tenga. In other words, they're trying to sugarcoat everything. So we do not know if what they are saying are true or not true. Kaya nga, we go back always to the public. We compare what the president tells us versus what the public feels and what the public experiences. If hindi nag-match, then somewhere, somehow, merong lapse. So, yun yung tinitingnan natin. So, yung sabi ng government, merong improvement sa economy, about 20%. So, bakit hindi na-feel ng mga tao? Hindi na-feel ng mga tao kasi 98% ng tubo sa economy, ibig sabihin, limbawa, 1 trillion, tapos nag-improve next year, naging 1.2 trillion. Yung 200 trillion na improvement, 98% nun. 98% nung 200 billion pesos na economic improvement hindi na pupunta sa tao. Yung 98% na yun. Kung hindi na pupunta sa tao, saan na pupunta yun? Napupunta ito sa mga corporations. And yung mga corporations na to, yung may-ari nito, yung mga mayayaman na tao sa Pilipinas. Kaya tama yung public sentiment na yung mayaman sa Pilipinas, yung mayaman at yung mahihirap, lalong humihirap. Tama yun. Tama. I think I would partially agree with the survey ng SWS na ganito pala yung nangyari. I would like to agree with that. No? Kasi nga, it conforms It conforms with the findings na kaya pala hindi na-feel ng public yung growth na sinasabi ng gobyerno kasi yung growth na to hindi napupunta sa tao, napupunta sa mga companies. So in turn, yung yumayaman, yung mga companies, yung mga mahihirap, lalong humihirap. So ganon. So, siguro yung pinakamalaking tanong ninyo is, bakit po ba? Bakit po ba ganito yung situation sa Pilipinas? Who should we blame? Diba? Who should we blame kung bakit marami pa ring mga Pilipino yung mahihirap despite that for many years our government is telling us na maganda yung naging takbo ng economy. So bakit? Ano yung mga dahilan kung bakit hanggang ngayon yung Pilipinas ano pa rin siya? Kumbaga, kulelat. Kulelat sa buong Asia. So, yun po yung sasagutin natin. We will just take a short break. Once again, this is Phil Bombita, and you're listening to the Sen Shop Training 09. We'll be right back.
Uso pa ba ang harana? Marahil ikaw ay nagtataka, sino ba tong mukhang gago, nagkandara pa sa pagkanta at nasisintunado sa kaba? Meron pandalang mga rosas, suot na may maong nakupas, at nariyan pa ang barkada, nakaporma nakabarong sa awiting daig pa, -1 at singalong. Puno ang langit ng bituin at kay lamig pa ng hangin, sa iyong tingin ako'y nababaliw, sa awitin kong ito, sana'y maibigan mo. Ibubuhos ko ang buong puso ko sa isang munting harana para sa'yo. Ba't parang isang sine, isang pelikulang romantiko? Hindi ba't ikaw ang bidang artista at ako ang iyong leading man sa istoryang nagwawakas sa pag-ibig na wagas? Puno ang langit ng bituin at kay lamig pa ng hangin, sa iyong tingin ako'y nababaliw, giliw, at sa awitin kong ito, sana'y maibigan mo. Ibubuhos ko ang buong puso ko sa isang munting harana para sa'yo.
So, welcome once again to our third segment sa ating Training 009 here at the Sen Shop. This is once again Phil Bombita, and we are broadcasting live here in our headquarters in Bacolod City, the province of Negros Occidental. So, bago po tayo nag-break, meron tayong isang important question that we left behind that we hope to answer. So, yung question po is, why is it? Bakit? Bakit despite the government telling us, Filipinos, na okay yung situation ng Philippines in general, why is it that we could not feel it? Ano yung mga factors kung bakit hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa rin nafe-feel, hindi pa rin nadadama ng tao yung sinasabi nilang economic growth? Ano yung reason na marami pa rin sa mga Pilipino yung kapos sa kita? Ano yung problema? Kung bakit marami pa rin mga Pilipino ang kapos sa kita? Yan. So yung una pong problema natin sa Pilipinas, dahil po sa ating educational system, yun po yung problema. Now, bago kayo mag-react, huwag niyo sabihin naman na bakit. Dahil ba maraming edukado o ganito, ganyan, di ba? Hindi ganyan yung point ko eh. Ito. Yung problema natin sa Pilipinas is education. Kasi we are made to believe sa schools natin na okay, kapag nag-aral ka ng mabuti, nagtapos ka ng doktor, abogasya, inhinyero, nurse, magiging successful ka na. Yun yung mindset na naiwan sa atin eh. So, yung ginagawa natin, parang we follow blindly. Okay, mag-aaral ako. And expecting na kapag nakuha mo na yung diploma mo after college, I have my diploma, I will become successful. Mali, di ba? Yung na-build up sa atin na mindset since we were in grade 1 is mag-aral ka kasi ang education is priceless and your education is your ticket to success. Yun yung naiwan sa atin na mindset. Yun yung naiwan sa atin na mindset. At yun yung mindset na hanggang ngayon, pinaniniwalaan natin at ipinapasa natin sa mga anak natin, sa mga kapatid natin, at kung sino-sino pang tao. Yung mindset na kapag nagtapos ka, sample, nurse. Nagtapos ka ng nurse. Diba? Okay, pagtapos ako ng nurse, dapat maging nurse talaga ako. Kasi, pag naging nurse talaga ako, I will become successful. Pero hindi kasi ganyan eh. 'Di ba? Hindi kasi ganyan eh. Yung course nyo sa college should not limit you to explore new horizons. Hindi dapat maging limitation. Kahit ba naman English teacher ka nung college, pwede ka maging mayaman eh. Just take a look at Jack Ma. 'Di ba? Yung pinakamayamang tao sa China ngayon, he is the co-founder of Alibaba, the largest e-commerce site in the world. He doesn't know about programming, 'di ba? He is an English teacher. Pero nakita niyo yung nangyari, he became the richest man in the second richest country in the whole earth. So nakita niyo yung sinasabi ko. So natrap yung mga Filipinos at yung mga children yung mga kapatid natin at kahit tayo, natrap tayo sa mindset na kapag nakuha mo yung diploma mo, ito lang yung pwede mong gawin. At kapag ginawa mo yan, magiging successful ka. Yun yung na-instill sa atin na mindset eh. Na okay, alright, once you graduate college, dapat mag-review ka ha. Pag nag-review ka, dapat mag-volunteer ka ng pagiging nurse. Tapos dapat mag-work ka talaga sa ospital. Diba? Kasi ganyan yung pinag-aralan mo. Mali. Diba mali? Bakit? Kung titingnan mo yung mga yung titingnan mo yung list ng mga pinakamayayamang tao sa mundo, karamihan sa kanila hindi nag-aaral eh. Iba nga sa kanila drop out. Proving that education alone, your degree, to be more specific, your degree in college is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee that you will become financially sufficient someday. Hindi garantiya yan eh. And the reason why I'm telling you this, because I want you to wake up to the reality na, education alone is not enough And that you need to understand na yung ipinasa sa atin na line of thinking na dapat ganito lang yung pwede mong gawin ha. Kasi nurse ka, dapat ganito yung dapat mong gawin. Hindi yan eh. Di ba? Although we admit na important yung mga nurses, important yung mga doktor, important yung mga lawyers, di ba? Important yan eh. Pero, if dyan mo ibabata yung pagiging successful mo so that you will become financially free, sasabihin mo sa self mo na, okay, for me to be financially free, dapat i-practice ko talaga yung profession ko. You know, you are in a big trap. And gusto ko na maintindihan mo na isa sa mga problema kung bakit yung mga Pilipino hanggang ngayon mahihirap pa rin because of that mentality. Na dahil wala akong pinag-aralan, hindi na ako pwede maging successful. Or dahil high school graduate lang ako, wala na akong future. O dahil nakagraduate ako ng 4-year course o ng 5-year course, magiging successful na ako. You have to understand, my friends, success is not a straight line. It is not a straight line. Pagka-graduate mo ng college, it doesn't guarantee you anything. In fact, pagka-graduate mo ng college, you will be lucky if you're going to find a job. Diba? You'll be lucky if you're going to find a job. Kaya may sabi kami dati, no, pa sa mga graduate, sabi namin, welcome to the world of unemployment. Ganon. Kasi nga, pagka-graduate mo, wala ka naman makukuha ng trabaho unless mag-call center ka, diba? Nung mga panahon ng mga clinical instructors namin dati, pag-graduate nila, nako, wala pang mga call center nun. 99, 2000, 2001. So, ano yung nangyari? Since wala pang mga call center, well, ginawa nila, nag-Dunkin Donuts, nag-Jollibee, nag-KFC, diba? Ganun. So, nakakalungkot. So, you have to wake up from that reality na dahil sa profession mo, ito lang yung pwede mong gawin. Hindi. You can do more if you wanted to. Diba? You can do more. So, first thing that prevents us Filipinos from being successful, no, is the mindset that was instilled to us when we're in school. Remember, success is not a straight line. And your education does not guarantee anything except expenses. Kung meron ng isang bagay na ginagaranti ng school mo, expenses, but not employment. Kasi in fact, pag-graduate mo nga, medyo mahirapan pa maghanap ng trabaho. How many people ngayon ang jobless, diba? Naka-graduate naman sila lahat. Na ano nga ako, no? Parang weird lang na, pag nag-apply ka ng CLCD, kailangan talaga may 4-year course ka. Anong drama nun, diba? Parang it doesn't make sense, diba? Parang it doesn't make sense. Hindi siya pwede sa company, no? It doesn't make sense, Parang it doesn't make sense na guard kailangan may 4-year course, naka-graduate ka ng BS Criminology, or pag nag-apply ka ng cashier, dapat meron kang 4-year course. Bakit? Anong logic? Yung hindi mo naka-graduate ng 4-year course, hindi marunong mag-count. Di ba yung counting, yung counting, I think, grade 2 pa lang, tinuturuan ka ng mag-count eh. Dapat ganun ba talaga? Yung mga companies na to, that puts useless qualification sa job hiring nila, dapat tigilan na nila eh. They should be reported eh. Ang dami ng mga tao na qualified, ang dami ng mga tao na tawag dito, na walang trabaho, tapos ang a-applyan mo lang well, hindi ko naman hinahamak yung pagiging cashier, no. Syempre marangal naman na trabaho 'yan. Pero I mean, parang hindi fit sa standard, So yun lang. So that's first thing. Our school makes us poor. The system and the mindset na itinuro sa atin sa ating eskwela, it doesn't do us any good at all. It makes us poor. Kaya maraming Pilipino ngayon ang mahirap. Ngayon, pangalawa, why is it that a lot of Filipinos are still poor? Despite na yung government natin is promising a lot of things and they have been reporting a lot of things to us. Siguro po isang bagay na dapat ninyong tandaan, kapag yung nag-report is government, meron kayong dapat tandaan dyan eh. Kapag yung in-report ng government official is about positive things. Halimbawa, na-report nyo na, uy, yung economy natin has grown 20%. It has grown 20%. Kapag yung inireport ng isang government official, ganyan, yung mga positive na bagay, ano yan? Exaggerated. Tandaan nyo yan. Exaggerated yan. Siguro kapag sinabi nilang 20%, hindi talaga 20% yan. Siguro mga 1% lang. Exaggerated. Pero kapag naman inireport nila yung mga bagay na negative, halimbawa, ilan po ba yung namatay sa bagyong ganito? Tapos sabihin nila, siguro sa tingin namin 300. Yung 300 na sinasabi ng government official na yan, kahit sino pa yan, ano yan, understated. So, ang katotohanan yan, siguro medyo mga nasa 3,000 yung patay. Diba? Ganyan yung kalakaran sa politika. And I know that kasi, syempre, I have been a close, ano ba yung right term? A close observer of our political system in the country. So, medyo avid fan ako nun. Kaya na-observe ko na either it's overstated or understated. Depende sa quality ng ibinabalita nila. So, ganyan. So, the second reason why a lot of Filipinos are still poor, it is because of our beliefs. I am more specific to the religious beliefs. If you have been familiar, no, kung kayo po nag-a-attend sa mga Sunday school ninyo, etc., etc., yung sinasabi palagi, most of the time, masama yung yumaman. Yun sinasabi nila. Karamihan tingin natin sa mga taong mayayaman. Mata pobre, 'di ba? Parang ay yumaman yan kasi nanglamang sa kapwa, ganyan. No, tinuruan tayo na masama yung maging mayaman, na masama yung pera. Pero alam nyo kasi wala namang sinabi sa Bible na masama yung pera eh. 'Di ba? Iscan mo yung Bible, walang sinabi doon na masama yung pera. Masama yung mahalin mo yung pera. 'Di ba? Pero kung yung pera ginagamit mo para gumawa ng mabuti sa kapwa-tao mo, anong masama doon? 'Di ba? Yung mindset kasi na naiwan sa atin, kasi dati I have been an acolyte, sakristan ako for probably mga 4 years, and I have been very active sa church namin. And every Flores de Mayo, as we call it, meron kami mga every 3 p.m. meron kaming parang religious school na doon nag-uusap kami, ganito, ganyan, tapos may nagle-lecture. Tapos yung pinapaano sa amin palagi na yun, masama yung yumaman, masama yung pera, ganito, ganyan. Pero sa napag-isip-isip ko, kung wala kang pera ngayon, mas magiging miserable yung pamumuhay mo. And in fact, karamihan dun sa mga nagiging hold-upper, kidnapper, prostitute, karamihan sa kanila dun walang pera eh. So napag-isip-isip ko, sabi ko, yung pera pala, pwede mong gamitin sa masama, pwede mo rin gamitin sa mabuti. Kung nagdanasa ka, no, for example, ikaw, you desire to become rich para mas marami kang tao na matulungan, ano namang masama doon, di ba? Hindi naman siguro, di ba? Siguro normal. I think lahat ng tao kahit tanungin mo, gusto pera eh, di ba? Gusto pera, ang gusto ng tao, merong pera eh. 'Di ba? Mahirap yung walang pera. Alam mo, hindi maganda yung feeling. Meron akong kaklase dati, sabi niya, well, money won't make you happy. Alam ko 'yon. Pag wala kang pera, hindi ka rin happy, 'di ba? So, mas okay na lang na hindi ka happy pero may pera ka. Kaysa hindi ka na happy, wala ka pang pera, 'di ba? Mas 'yun. Umaga sa bala, double impact 'yan, 'di ba? Wala ka ng pera, hindi ka pa happy. 'Di ba? Meron ang text message dati, no, naalala ko pa nung college kami, nauso yung yung Unli dati ng Smart. Tapos merong ipinapasa-pasa ng mga text messages. Tapos yung sabi ng isang text message doon would you choose a guy? Pipili ka daw ba ng lalaki na gusto mong makasama at paiiyakin ka, pumili ka ng lalaki na paiiyakin ka sa loob ng BMW at wag yung lalaki na paiiyakin ka sa sakay sa tricycle, di ba? Ganyan. Alam nyo kasi yung pera, marami siyang masosolve na mga needs ng tao. Kapag ginamit sa wastong paraan, hindi naman masama yung pera. Wala naman sa Bible na masama yung pera, di ba? Sila yung Panginoong Hesus nga dati gumamit din ng pera pambili ng mga kinakain nila. So anong masama doon, di ba? Kapag minahal mo yung pera more than sa pagmamahal mo sa kapwa-tao mo at sa Diyos, yun yung magiging masama. Na yung pera ginudiyos mo, di ba? Na lahat gagawin mo dahil sa pera. Pumatay ka ng kapwa-tao, gutumin mo yung dukha, di ba? Di naman kaya ipapatay mo yung mga kaaway mo sa politika dahil sa pera, di ba? Dahil sa power. Yun yung masama. Pero pag ginamit mo yung pera para tulungan yung mga ulila, yung mga widows, 'di ba, ganyan, hindi naman masama 'yan, 'di ba? Kapag ginamit sa wastong paraan, hindi masama yung pera. So yung sinasabi sa atin na masama yung mayaman, masama yumaman, masama yung pera, kalimutan nyo. Isang malaking kalokohan 'yan, 'di ba? It's part of the reason why until now a lot of Filipinos are still poor. 'Di ba? Kapag sinabi ng religious leader natin, ganito, magiging abundant ka sa ganito. Lahat nung ino-orient nila is about the material things. Diba? Lahat ng ino-orient nila is about the material things. They're trying to lure people into the material thing na, okay, ganito, ganyan, maging mayaman ka, pag ganito, pag ganyan. You know, alam nyo, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Sige, subukan nyo. Subukan yung magdasal, tapos umupo na kayo sa bahay nyo. 'Di ba? Walang mangyayari. 'Di ba? Umupo ka lang, magiging tamad ka, walang mangyayari. Yung Diyos naman kasi, Diyos naman 'yan ng hustisya, 'di ba? So, kapag nanalangin ka, lagyan mo ng gawa. Kapag nanalangin ka na, okay, Lord, gusto ko sana maging successful. Pero yung ginawa mo buong maghapon, natulog ka, nanood ka ng TV, paano ka giginhawa niyan, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Kakaawaan ka ng Diyos. Tama yung sinasabi nila, di ba? With God's help and mercy. Of course, God's help is mercy and mercy is there. Pero you also have to exert effort. You also have to exert effort kasi God is also a God of justice. Kapag wala ka talagang ginawa, naupo ka lang dyan buong maghapon, what do you expect to happen in your life, di ba? So, ano lang, no? Isipin niyo palagi, kailangan dito aksyon. Kailangan kang umaksyon. 'Di ba? If anyone tells you na sige lang, ganito lang, mag-ano ka lang kasi baka manalo ka sa loto, ganyan. Nako, that's ridiculous. That's more ridiculous. It's 1 in a million chance na mangyari na maano ka, na manalo ka sa loto. And if that happens, you will be in danger. Bakit? Kasi hindi ka pa ready yumaman. Delikado yung tao na yumaman na hindi pa ready. Mapapariwara yun from rags to riches back to rags. Worse. 'Di ba? So tandaan niyo 'yan. So yung sinasabi nila na you know, na masama yung yumaman, masama yung magkapera, ganito ganyan, that we have to live a simple life, ganyan. Okay lang naman to live a simple life na may pera ka. 'Di ba? You can still live a simple life na may pera ka, 'di ba? So wala namang masama doon. So erase that in your vocabulary na masama yung yumaman. Walang masama doon. Especially pag yung ginagamit mo yung pera mo para tumulong sa kapwa-tao mo, di ba? Walang masama dun. So you just have to make sure you do it with the right intent and with the right purpose. So we will take a short break po muna. We will be back in a while. Once again, this is Phil Bombita from the Scent Shop.
Huwag kang magulat kung bigla akong magdala
Hello po and welcome back to our Sense broadcast. This is Phil Bombita and we are broadcasting live in Bacolod City, the province of Negros Occidental. We will continue with our training 09 and before we took our break, yung question that is left unanswered ngayon is regarding the reasons why until now karamihan sa mga Pilipino ay mahihirap pa rin. Despite the government telling us na maganda na yung economy ng ating bansa. But why is it that the people could not feel it? So yung isa sa mga reason na reiterate natin kanina is that yung economic growth natin, whatever percent it may be, yung malaking bahagi nun, hindi naman napupunta sa tao. Napupunta yon sa mga malalaking companies, big corporations, big conglomerates, dun sa kanila na pupunta yung income. Kaya ang nangyayari, well, maraming mga Pilipino ang hindi nakaka-earn. At the reason why hindi nila na-feel yung takbo ng ating economy or the economic growth that the government is boasting. So, we are currently discussing the reasons why the Philippines as of now is still poor. A lot of our people are still poor, and we pointed out earlier it's because of the wrong things we learned in school and in our church. And yung pangatlong reason po that we want to share with you, it's because of the Philippine media. It's because of the Philippine media. 98% of Filipinos are media consumers. In other words, kahit ano pa yung trabaho nila, kahit bata, ano-anong edad, kahit ano lang yun, driver ng padjak o di naman kaya balut vendor, they are media consumers. Ibig sabihin, they are watching TVs, listening to the radio, and reading newspapers, whether online or hard copy by nature. So, karamihan sa mga Pilipino are consumers ng media. And if titingnan mo yung media natin sa Pilipinas, yung quality ng journalism natin, it really sucks. It really sucks. Sorry, but I have to be very frank with you. It really sucks. Most, hindi naman natin nila lahat, pero karamihan sa mga channels natin sa Pilipinas, TV channels, radio channels, magazines, and newspapers, karamihan sa kanila are publishing useless shows and useless articles. Karamihan sa kanila. Like, tingnan nyo lang to, no offense to ABS-CBN for instance. What would people benefit out from watching teleseries from 6 until 10? Or from watching The Voice, PBB, Bagito? Alam nyo, yung ginagawa ng media, they create ignorant people among the Filipino race. Ginagawa nilang bobo ang mga Pilipino. Dahil ang ang laman ng mga shows nila, mga shows na walang kwenta, 'di ba? Yung ginagawa nila sa tao, they want to entertain the public. Tama 'yan 'di ba? That's one of an obligation. That's one of the obligations ng isang media channel to provide entertainment, of course. It's one of it. Pero another obligation ng isang media or ng isang media channel is to help build our country. And how can they help build our country? By empowering Filipinos. They have to empower Filipinos by giving them the right information that they should be knowing. 'Di ba? Pero yung nangyayari sa Pilipinas, since karamihan sa media natin nababayaran, yung itinatawid na mga information sa public, screened, hindi na siya totoo. In other words, exaggerated. Kaya ang nangyayari, once na transfer sa tao yung information na to, mali yung napiperceive niya ng mga bagay-bagay sa paligid niya. 'Di ba? And since media is very powerful, it is instrumental to help our fellow men, our countrymen, develop a sense of independence, and they would feel empowered. Importante sa media na dapat yung pinapalabas nila ng mga shows are senseful. 'Di ba? Pinapalabas nila ng mga shows dapat makakatulong para mag-mold ng magandang ugali, mag-mold ng magandang kamalayan sa mga tao, that will make people feel empowered, that will make people feel more confident to take action. Pero sa ginagawa nila, they want people to be entertained lang eh. All they're after is money. Kasi malaki yung money sa entertainment eh. Walang masyadong money kapag you deliver truth and honest news. Wala masyadong pera dun. 'Di ba? Kasi walang politiko na magbabayad sa'yo. If you tell the truth, medyo wala kang kita dun. 'Di ba? But if you tell lies, you'll get the money of the politicians. 'Di ba? If you keep people entertained, you get money from the advertisers. 'Di ba? Pero sa ginagawa nila, they make Filipinos feel bobo. 'Di ba? Yun yung right term. Ginagawa nilang bobo yung mga Pilipino. And that's the reason why majority of Filipinos are still poor, because they are ignorant. They're ignorant because the media is feeding them with garbage. Garbage na mga shows, garbage na mga balita, mga walang kwentang balita, puro negative, walang kwentang news, bias na news reporting, ganyan eh. Walang kwenta yung Philippine media. Kaya tingnan nyo, yung mga tao, ang alam lang nila yung mga, di ba, yung, ay nako, yung laman lang palagi ng bukang bibig nila is yung mga teleserye, yung mga buhay ng artista, buhay ng kung sino-sinong artista, yung anak ng mga artista, nagkahiwalay. Problema sa Pilipino, we always want to become followers. We don't want the one who's being followed. Diba? Wala tayong mindset for greatness as one nation. Wala tayo nun. And that's because of the influence of the media that we have. Diba? Ginagawa tayong bobo ng media. Ang ginagawa ng media, parang ipinapako tayo sa mga upuan natin para panoorin yung buhay ng mga artista. 'Di ba? And this is the reason why our nation has developed an identity na we would rather play it safe. Yung playing safe na attitude. Alam niyo po kasi pag ganyan, pag playing safe yung attitude niyo, walang mangyayari sa inyo. 'Di ba? Walang mangyayari. No, inaasa natin yung improvement ng life natin sa government, o sa buhay o sa isang politikong artista, di ba? Come on, guys. You have to wake up from that mindset, especially sa mga franchise owners natin. Karamihan sa inyo, yung mindset nyo pa rin, parang mindset ng mga tao na walang alam sa business, di ba? Yung iniisip nyo rin palagi is ganito, ganyan. Ayaw nyo mag-take action. Mas grounded kayo towards dun sa mga shows na mga nonsense naman na wala ka namang makukuha, wala ka namang mapapala dun, di ba? Kaya karamihan sa Pilipino poor kasi hindi sila nabibigyan ng right information that they should be knowing. And that's the fourth reason. Misinformation. I'll give you one example. In 2006, nagpalabas ng report yung Philippine Nurses Association together with the Department of Labor and Employment and CHED na by 2007 and 2008, yung demand daw ng Filipino nurses will increase 4 times. Syempre, nung nilabas nyo ng CHED, anong nangyari? Syempre, naisip ng mga parents, kaysa naman mag-teacher yung anak ko sa Bukid Madistino, kakarampot yung kita, mag-nurse na lang si Inday, di ba? Benta natin yung kalabaw, benta natin yung kambing, eto na, mag-nurse na si Inday. Pag-graduate ni Inday, sure flight to America, mayaman na kami. Ano nangyari? I was part of that batch. I graduated from a school of nursing in 2007, at pagka-graduate ko, Nako, lagot. Welcome to the world of unemployment. Call center kami lahat. 'Di ba? Kasi pag nag-apply ka sa trabaho sa ospital, yung sahod mo, mas malaki pa yung expenses mo compared sa sahod mo. 'Di ba? So nonsense. You spend thousands of pesos, even hundreds of pesos to send yourself to school, to send your kids to school, you end up with nothing. Except a call center agent. Diba? Maganda naman yung buhay sa call center. Diba? Malaki yung kita. Pero kung nalaman ko sana na ganito lang rin yan, di sana hindi na kami nag-aaral ng college. You know? Diba? Sayang nga sa pera. You could have spent your 4 years being employed. And you could have earned more. Diba? So, mali-mali kasi yung ibinibigay ng mga data ng media at kahit ng government agencies sa mga tao. Kaya yung mga tao, they could not make an informed decision. Hindi guided yung tao kasi yung number one, yung media, yung imbis na ibigay sa atin yung tamang balita na dapat nating malaman, dahil karapatan natin yan bilang mga Pilipino, na malaman yung totoong balita sa gobyerno, yung totoong estado ng bansa natin, karapatan nating malaman yan eh. 'Di ba? Hindi ibinibigay sa atin ng media. Karamihan, hindi naman lahat, pero karamihan ng media sa Pilipinas, yung ibinibigay nilang balita sa atin ay yung buhay ng artista, buhay ni ganito, buhay ni ganyan, buhay ng basketball player. Puro entertainment, walang empowerment eh. 'Di ba? Puro entertainment, walang empowerment, kaya ano nangyari? Poverty. Hindi inform yung public, 'di ba? Second reason, yung information na ibinibigay ng mga government agencies na dapat accurate, hindi pala accurate. Ano pala yun? Patsamba. Diba? Patsamba. Kasi until now, yung demand ng nurses bumaba eh. In fact, maraming mga schools yung kinuha na yung BS nursing sa kanilang curriculum kasi wala na nag-enroll. We have proven na mali yung inilagay nila na report back then. So, ano yung nangyari? Because of this wrong report, karamihan sa mga parents, they made the decision based on the report na ginawa ng CHED at ng other government agencies telling us na mag-i-increase yung demand ng nurses, kaya yung iba, kahit hindi kayang pagpapanursing sa anak, nagbenta ng mga properties, kalabaw, kambing, lupa, para mapaano yung anak sa pagiging nurse. And then what happened? Jobless. Yung iba pumupunta sa Middle East, di ba? Nakakarampot naman yung kita doon. Ay ano nangyari? Di ba? Because of this, we have lost a lot of professionals that could have been helping our country. Modesty aside, kung ako siguro kung pinapili lang ako ng course, I could have been a very good architect kasi forte ko talaga yung drawing tsaka numbers. But since I was not given the chance, I ended up being a nurse, and to be honest with you, I'm useless as a nurse kasi I don't feel like being a nurse, no. So useless yung naging course ko in college. It didn't help me at all. So kita nyo, the Philippines lost one architect or one engineer for that instance. They lost teachers, they lost policemen. Bakit? Dahil pinilit lahat mag-nurse. And ano yung reason na to? This is because of the wrong information given to us by the government agencies. So marami mga Pilipino hanggang ngayon poor kasi poor yung information na ibinibigay ng media, low quality, basura yung ibinibigay ng media sa atin para i-consume. Kaya nangyayari, wala. We are being prisoners of comfort in our own homes. At alam niyo po, kapag prisoner kayo ng comfort, walang mangyayari sa inyo. So, yun. We will be right back, and our next segment will talk about the things that we should do to improve our current financial condition. Magbabalik po ang Training 009 in the Sense Shop.
Nitong umaga lang, pagkalambing-lambing ng iyong mga matang, hayop kong tumingin Kani-kanina lang pagkakanda-kanda ng pagkasabi mo. Sana'y tayong mga kani-kanina lang pagkasaya-saya ng buhay kong bigla na lamang nag-iba. Kay bilis naman maglaho ng pag-ibig mo, sinta. Daig mo pa ang isang kisap mata. Kanina'y nariyan lang mo, ba't bigla mang nawala? Daig mo pa ang isang kisap mata. Itong umaga lang magkalambing-lambing. Itong umaga lang magkagaling-galing. Kani-kanina lang pagkaganda-ganda. Kani-kanina lang pagkasaya-saya. Kay bilis naman maglaho ng pag-ibig mo, sinta. Daig mo pa ang isang kisap mata. Kanina'y nariyan lang mo, ba't bigla namang nawala? Daig mo pa ang isang kisap mata.
Welcome once again to our Sense broadcast. We're back, and this is Phil Bombita. We are broadcasting live in the City of Smiles in the beautiful province of Negros Occidental in the Philippines. And as we promised, dito po sa segment natin ngayon, we will be discussing yung mga steps na dapat ninyong gawin bilang mga franchise owners in order to improve your current financial condition. And siguro we are giving you this piece of advice not because we are filthy rich, 'di ba? Hindi naman dahil sa mga milyonaryo kami, etc., etc. Pero we are giving you this advice because of the mistakes that we have made before and the mistakes that we saw other people made, which gave us the idea na eto pala yung mga dapat mong gawin. Kasi alam nyo, pag yung isang step na ginawa mo hindi nag-work, maghanap ka ng solution. And yung ipoprovide namin sa inyo ngayon are the basic solutions that you need to do as a franchise owner para ma-improve nyo yung current financial condition ninyo. Unang-una, the first thing that you should do, and the first thing na dapat tandaan ninyo, you have to quit being comfortable. You have to quit being comfortable. Alam nyo kasi karamihan ng mga tao takot sa risk. Takot kapag mahirap yung gagawin nila. 'Di ba? Karamihan ng mga Pilipino ganyan. Takot kapag mahirap yung gagawin, takot dahil hindi ko kaya, ganyan. Kung ganyan yung mindset ninyo, wala na kayong ability to try new things. Kumbaga, kung ano yung life nyo ngayon, magiging ganyan na lang siya. The rest of your life. Bakit? Kasi you're afraid to try something new. You're afraid to go out from your comfort zone. Alam nyo kasi yung trabaho, comfort zone yun eh. When I was working in a call center before, I earned 6-digit salary, to be honest. No. But despite of that, I felt na something is missing. Sabi ko, I need to do something. This is not just about the money, diba? I felt my life completely useless during the time. Sabi ko, ba't malaki yung sweldo pero hindi pa rin ako nakakasave ng pera, diba? So, pag isip-isip ko, nasa comfort zone ko kasi ako eh. I am not telling you, mind you, I'm not telling you to quit your job. Hindi ganyan eh. No? But what I'm telling you is, you need to learn to go out from your comfort zone. Ito halimbawa, no? Halimbawa, after mo trabaho, yung habit mo, manood ng Korean telenovela. Kasi yan yung comfort zone mo. Tigilan mo yan. Change that. Remove that from your list of activities for the day. Instead, focus your time or allocate your time into something more productive, like taking care of your business, for example. Diba? Doon mo ilaan yung spare time mo. Hindi masama magtrabaho, diba? Kailangan nyo yan. Kailangan nyo yan for the meantime kasi kailangan nyo ng cash inflow. Kailangan nyo ng income na pumapasok. So never quit your job, you know? Pero yung binibigay ko sa inyo na advice is you have to quit being comfortable. Dapat open ka sa opportunity. Yung iba kasi mga tao, kapag in-offer mo ng opportunity, sarado agad. No? And nasa comfort zone ka lang, takot sila kapag mahirap. Ay, ayoko niyan kasi baka mahirap yun. Or baka mahirapan sila. 'Di ba? Yung kasi dati, 'di ba? If you remember our CD007, yung leadership sacrifice, maraming nag-PM sa akin, 'di ba mahirap yan? Sabi ko, that's exactly the point. We want to do something difficult. Bakit? Kasi pampered leaders do not grow. Yung mga pampered managers, they do not grow. Imagine yung isang carbon, pag hindi mo siya nalagay sa isang pressurized na environment, hindi magiging diamond yun. Hindi magiging diamond. The reason why a diamond is a diamond, and the reason why diamond is precious, kasi yung carbon na exposed at a very high temperature and high pressure, that it became a diamond. So kung gusto niyo maging diamond kayo in terms of business, you have to expose yourself to pressure and to difficulties. Huwag kang matakot kasi the pressure and the difficulties will make you stronger. It will make you stronger. Tingnan nyo yung halaman sa disyerto. Yung halaman sa disyerto, kahit isang taon walang tubig, buhay pa rin siya. Buhay pa rin. Kahit isang taon walang tubig, buhay pa rin siya. Pero tingnan mo yung water lily. Kunin mo sandali sa tubig, after 1 week, patay yun. Malalantay yung dahon yan. So, yung point ko is simple. Hardship and difficulties will make you stronger like a cactus. 'Di ba? Kahit mahirap yung dadaanan mong problema sa negosyo, kapag nasanay ka sa mahirap na paraan, 'di ba? Malalampasan mo siya. Pero kapag yung mindset mo, you are always avoiding yung mga bagay na difficult, gusto mo palagi playing safe, gusto mo palagi yung parang okay lang, yung mga medyo lang, ay naku, wala mangyayari sa buhay mo, maniwala ka. Maniwala ka. Diba? Kung ano ka ngayon, ganun pa rin yan bukas kapag hindi ka nagsikap. No? So, quit being comfortable. Expose yourself. You voluntarily expose yourself to the pressure. Kailangan, kung gusto mong lumaki yung katawan mo, magka-muscle ka, kailangan mo mag-exert ng effort. Yun din yung dapat mong gawin. You need to go out from your comfort zone. Stop being comfortable. Tingnan nyo ha, ako kasi yung habit ko is tingnan ko yung buhay ng mga mayayaman eh. Kasi dapat meron kang pattern of action. So tinitingnan ko, binabasa ko sa internet yung mga buhay ng mga mayayaman na to. What have they done in common? What have they done in common? Kasi syempre, if you want to become a great basketball player, you have to follow the footsteps of Michael Jordan. 'Di ba? Hindi mo naman pwedeng maging role model yung tambay sa inyo na lumpo na hindi nga marunong mag-basketball, 'di ba? 'Di ba? Syempre, yung maging role model mo or maging basis ng action mo is yung tao na magaling mag-basketball. In that case, si Michael Jordan, 'di ba? So, binabasa ko yung biography nila. And one thing common among them, among the rich people in the world, in the Philippines, they are not afraid to take risk and they go out from their comfort zone. Yun lang. So you need to make sure that you go out from your comfort zone, because if you don't go out from your comfort zone, you will become a prisoner of your own comfort at hindi ka makakalabas yan. Walang piyansa yan. Walang piyansa sa pagiging prisoner ng comfort zone mo. So what you need to do is you need to go out and stop being comfortable. So yun po, we will take a very short break. Magwa-water break lang po kami. We will back in a while. Once again, this is Phil Bombita from The Sense Shop.
I remember the days when you're here with me. Those laughters and tears we shared for years. Memories that we had for so long. It's me and you. Now you've gone away. You left me all alone. Go on, do what you want, but please don't leave me. You break my heart. Hey, what should I do? Babe, I'm missing you. Please don't disappear. These are the words that you should hear. Time and time again, I wish that you were here. I don't wanna lose you, girl. I need you back to me. I don't wanna lose you, baby. Can't you see? Oh, I need you. You've been a part of me. I wish someday you'd be back home, 'cause I really miss you, darling. Please come home. I wish someday you'd be back home, 'cause I really miss you, darling. Please come
We are back. We just took a very quick na water break. Medyo nanunuyo na yung lalamunan namin sa broadcast natin, and narinig niyo po siguro yung sound ng hangin coming from Guimaras Strait. So we discussed about a few moments ago yung regarding sa mga steps na dapat ninyong gawin para na ma-improve yung financial condition ninyo. And one of those steps that you need to do is to make sure that, you need to make sure that you stop being comfortable. Comfort will do more harm than good. It will do more harm than good. So if you want to improve your life and to change your condition financially, you need to make sure that you stop being comfortable. You go out, you expose yourself in the difficulty, you expose yourself to the pressure, You expose yourself to the rejection. Yun yung kailangan mo to grow. If you always hide, if you always play it safe, halimbawa, yung invite mo na prospect, 3 pa lang, lahat ng prospect mo, nireject ka, tapos nalupaypay ka na, ayaw mo nang gumalaw, hindi ka fit for business, my friend. Kasi kailangan sa business, tibay ng loob, tatag ng sikmura. Yun yung kailangan mo dito. Walang businessman, kahit tanungin mo siguro si Henry C., si Bill Gates, si Warren Buffett, si Donald Trump, si Mark Cuban, no, all the rich people in the world and in Asia, tanungin nyo sila. Makakapal yung makakapal yung mukha nyo sa rejection eh. Makakapal yung yung tolerance nila mataas when it comes to rejection. They want to expose themselves to pressure. Kasi they believe that when you expose yourself to pressure, that's a single step for you to become a great business person. Kapag hindi mo in-expose yung self mo, at a very early part, you quitted already. Diba? Hindi ka na nag-try uli, patay kang bata. Diba? Patay kang bata. So, you need to make sure you go out from your comfort zone. The next thing that you need to do is you need to decide. You need to decide that you go out from your current situation. Ito yung pinaka-importante sa lahat. Dapat ngayon pa lang, magdesisyon ka na I want to improve my life. I want to improve my life. And once you have decided, take action. Don't stop there. You have decided, take action. Kasi if you don't decide to do anything, walang mangyayari sa'yo. But you will always be in your comfort zone. Comfort zone. Mall, diba? Pa-easy-easy lang. Pa-sports lang. Pa-computer lang. Diba? Ganyan eh. Yan yung mangyayari sa'yo. You will become a prisoner of your own comfort. So right now, I need you to decide na kailangan ko baguhin takbo ng buhay ko. Kailangan ko baguhin ang takbo ng buhay ko. That's one thing you need to do right now. Dapat isipin nyo yan. You have to decide that you need to go out from your current situation. The third thing you need to do, you need to find the right people you can work with. You need to find the right people you can work with. Ito i-ano mo sa akin, i-list down mo yung 5 closest friends na meron ka. And when we assess their characteristics, kung ano yung habit nila financially, more or less ganun ka rin. Kasi you are a product of the influence of the people around you. So dapat maghanap ka ng mga tao that will inspire you to do great things. Dapat maghanap ka ng mga tao na yung ibabato sa'yo yung mga positive na makakatulong sa'yo in order for you to become a great business person. Yun yung dapat ilagay natin na, okay, eto yon. Ito yung mga tamang tao na to na dapat kong makasama. You need to be constantly inspired to do good and to do great things for your business and for other people. Yun, so maghanap ka. Kung, alimbawa, yung kasama mo, yung kaibigan mo, hindi siya business-minded, di ba? Don't listen to him when it comes to financial advices. Kasi siya nga, hindi niya maayos yung buhay niya financially. Di ba? Meron kasi akong makakilala di ba? Meron akong makakilala dati. Kung makakantsaw naman, akala mo di ba? Kung makakantsaw naman, akala mo sinong magagaling, di ba? Pagdating naman ng exam, bagsak naman lahat. Di ba? So, dapat kapag siguro nangantsaw ka, siguraduhin mo na ikaw mismo ay marunong ka sa sinasabi mo. Di ba? Kapag, example, pinuna mo yung isang bagay, make sure marunong ka sa sinasabi mo at meron kang alam. Mahirap yung magkomento ka, sabihin mong negative, ganyan, sabihin mong hindi mag-work, ikaw wala ka naman pala, di ba? Meron kasing ganyan, meron kami nakausap dati, sabi niya hindi mag-work yan. Tanong ko sa kanya, bakit? May business ka ba? Wala. Paano mo sabihin hindi mo work? Anong basis mo? Yung basis mo lang, feeling mo lang hindi mag-work yun. Diba? So, yun yung dapat na isipin ninyo. Yun yung dapat ilagay ninyo na mindset sa part ninyo. So, you need to find the right people. Next, and very important, you need to increase your cash inflow. You need to increase your cash inflow. Ito yung dati kasi part din ako ng multi-level marketing and I have been a coach and I've been providing trainings and creating modules for a lot of multi-level marketing companies. And ngayon ko lang actually siya na-realize na yung sinasabi nila dati na walang trabaho, you have to quit your job, ganyan. Ano yun eh? Ridiculous. That's a ridiculous, that is a ridiculous, ano ba yung term? It's a ridiculous statement na sinasabi ng mga multi-level marketing presenters. Bakit? Kasi in order for you to become successful and to become financially independent, is you need to increase your cash inflow. First thing you need to do is increase your cash inflow. Second, engage in entrepreneurship. That's the fourth step. That's the fifth step. Increase your income, engage in entrepreneurship. Bakit? Kasi yung pera mo, kapag tinago mo sa bangko, hindi yan lalaki. 'Di ba? In fact, lugi ka dyan. Bakit? Kasi after how many years, taking consideration into inflation, bababa yung value ng pera mo. So what you need to do is to increase the cash inflow, engage in entrepreneurship, maging business person ka. Tapos, increase ulit the cash inflow. And then, do another business again. So, cycle yan. Increase the inflow, tapos yung nakuha mo na pera, gawin mo siyang business, palakihin mo, tapos yung pera na ma-earn mo, diba? Nag-increase na uli yung inflow mo, gawin mo uli siyang business, palakihin mo, hanggang lumaki siya ng lumaki. So, ganyan yung cycle. Increase the inflow, engage in entrepreneurship. Diba? Palakihin mo yung kita mo, mag-business ka. Pero hindi ito yung tulad na sinasabi ng mga multi-level marketing companies na puro trabaho, ganyan-ganyan. Alam nyo, kahit business person ka, may trabaho ka rin. 'Di ba? Yung understanding kasi, ito kasi yung maling understanding, no. Yung mga multi-level marketing professionals or yung mga multi-level marketing, yung mga networkers, kapag kasi narinig nila yung salitang financial freedom, time freedom, kapag naririnig nila ito, ang iniisip nila kapag financial freedom, pwede mo nang mabili lahat ng gusto mo. At kapag sinabi mo namang time freedom, pwede mo nang gawin kahit anong gusto mo. Ay nako, malaking ano yan, malaking kamalian yung sinasabi nilang ganyan. Kasi kapag sinabi mo ka naman kasing financial freedom, imposible mo naman kasing mabili lahat ng gusto mo eh. 'Di ba? Oh, meron na ba kayong nabalitaan na networker or pinanetworker nakabili ng spaceship, nakapunta sa outer space? Wala pa naman, 'di ba? Oh. Proving na hindi mo kayang bilhin lahat. Kahit nga yung pinakamayamang tao sa mundo, si Bill Gates, hindi niya kayang bilhin lahat eh. So kapag sinasabing financial freedom, it's not na pwede mo nang mabili lahat ng gusto mo. Kasi if that's the mindset na lahat ng gusto mo, pwede mo nang bilhin, hindi mo tinuturuan ng magandang asal yung isang tao. Diba? Kasi merong mga bagay yung tao na gusto niyang bilhin na hindi niya naman dapat bilhin. Diba? Oh. Proving na mali yung definition nila ng financial freedom. Yung time freedom naman, akala nila, kasi meron akong kakilala dating, sabi niya, ano ba yan? Nasaan yung time freedom mo? Ba't nagtatrabaho ka? Ganyan para sa business mo. Sabi ko, anong business ba yung hindi mo pinagtatrabahuan, di ba? Di ba kapag kahit nagde-networking ka, ano ka pa rin? Pagod ka pa rin? Twice the effort pa nga binibigay mo, mahirap kayo mag-invite ng prospect. O, di ba? Proving na kahit anong negosyo yung gawin mo, dapat may ano ka talagang effort na dapat gawin. So, yung definition nila ng time freedom and financial freedom, mali yun. When you say time freedom, it is able to maximize your time para mapalaki mo yung income na pumapasok sa iyo. Kasi yung isang trabahante, yung isang nasa trabaho, walang time freedom yun eh. Bakit? Kasi 8-hour shift, dapat yun yung gawin mo. Nakafocus ka lang doon. Wala kang time freedom. In other words, parang nakarehas ka na 8 hours nasa loob ka ng rehas, nasa loob ka ng company mo. Sa 8 hours na to, ganito lang yung dapat mong gawin. Okay? Within 8 hours, hindi ka pwedeng gumawa ng ganito. So, wala kang time freedom. Bakit? Kasi nga 8 hours nasa selda ka. Pero kapag business owner ka, meron kang time freedom. Bakit? Kasi, ngayon, kung wala akong ginagawa, pwede akong mag-isip ng panibagong business na pwede kong simulan. And since no one is my boss, kapag sabihin ko sa self ko, okay, magbe-break ako ngayon. 15 minutes, matulog ako. Tapos, I'll work again and create another business plan and start again another business. Oh, di okay yon. Meron kang time freedom. Meron kang kalayaan kung ano yung gusto mong gawin. para sa ikabubuti ng business mo. Kapag sinabi naman nating financial freedom, hindi yung pagkatanggap mo ng first commission mo, halimbawa natanggap mo 300,000, bumili ka na agad ng sasakyan kahit wala ka pang pambayad, no, di ba? Bumili ka na ng bahay para meron ka ipagyabang. Hindi ganyan eh. But that's really ridiculous. So, ano yung dapat mong gawin? Yung dapat mong gawin is this. Pagkatanggap mo ng pera, isipin mo, ano ba yung financial freedom? Yung financial freedom is understanding. Ito yung tamang pagkaintindi. Ito yung isang proseso. Ito isang proseso ng tamang pagkaintindi na yung pera ay isang volatile na resource. Ibig sabihin, yung pera madaling mag-evaporate. Kaya kailangan mo gawin sa pera, palakihin mo siya. Para hindi siya mag-evaporate, hindi ka maubusan. So, pagtanggap mo ng pera, yung gagawin mo, dapat yung pera na to, i-invest mo uli sa business. Palakihin mo uli. I would discourage you na i-invest yung pera nyo sa bangko. Bakit? Kasi nga, yun eh, the simple reason why the Filipinos could not feel the economic growth, kasi majority ng pera nila nasa bangko. Diba? So, yung nagpapalaki ng pera nila, bangko. Yung kumikita, yung bangko, at yung kumikita, yung mga malalaking kumpanya na naglo-loan sa bangko. Na yung pera na niloan nila, pera ninyo. Kayo naman, yung bumabalik sa inyo is just 1% per year, which is sukli na ng kita ng bangko. Nakita nyo. Diba? So, dapat yung gawin mo, magsimula ka talaga ng business mo. Engage in entrepreneurship. So, yung dapat mong gawin, pagkatanggap mo ng pera, make another business. Diba? Yun yung financial freedom na may kalayaan kang gawin at palakihin yung pera na nasa iyo. Hindi yan yung pagbili ng bagay na gusto mo. Na kahit ano lang bibilhin mo kasi meron kang financial freedom. That is ridiculous. If you do that, you'll be broke once again. From rags to riches to rags. Your life will be 360 degrees. Babalik ka sa ano. Diba? So, ganyan. So, I hope you find that very meaningful. Alright? So, recap lang natin. First thing you have to do, stop being comfortable. Second, you need to make sure that you decide to go out from your current situation. Next one, find the right people to work with. Next, increase the inflow. Do not quit your job. Look for a business. Increase the income that's coming in. And next is engage in entrepreneurship. Tuturuan ko po kayo, dapat yung mindset kasi ng karamihang Pilipino mali. Ito, bigyan kayo ng halimbawa, no? Yung isang pamilya, marami silang utang. Bakit maraming utang? Kasi merong binabayaran na bahay. Merong binabayaran na kuryente, tubig, matrikula, etc., etc. Kaya yung ginawa nila, nagtitipid. Hindi din sila kumain. If you're going to analyze, walang mangyayari sa buhay ng pamilyang to. Kasi ang ginagawa nila, they are depriving themselves from the basic needs na kailangan nilang ma-experience. Hindi naman kasi pwede hindi ka kumain. Hindi naman kasi pwede wala kang bahay. Hindi naman pwede wala kang kuryente. Diba? So, dapat iba yung mindset ninyo. Dapat yung mindset ninyo, okay, marami akong utang, marami akong bills na dapat bayaran. Dapat ma-increase yung income na pumapasok sa akin. Diba? If naalala nyo kanina yung sinasabi natin, marami sa mga Pilipino ang kapos sa kita. So, yung problema, kita. Hindi utang. Yung utang kasi normal lang yan eh. Diba? Kahit sino nagkakautang eh. Kung nagkautang ka dahil halimbawa, bumili ka ng washing machine, okay lang yan. Bumili ka ng ref. Ngayon yung gagawin mo dahil bumili ka ng ref, hindi ka na kumain. Diba? Wrong application. So, dapat yung gawin mo kapag marami kang bayarin, marami kang bills na sagutin, yung isipin mo, how do I increase the income? And if you have the increase in income, how do I increase it more? Yun yung dapat na isipin mo eh. Yung problema sa mga Pilipino, hindi problema yung utang. Problema yung income. So, dapat yung gawin nyo, palakihin yung income. Yung ginagawa kasi ng iba, pinaliliit yung expenses. Hindi yun. Mali yun. Mali mo na, okay, hindi na tayo, kahit ano na lang ginagawa no? Kahit ano na lang. I-off mo yung aircon ng sasakyan kasi makakatipid ka ng fuel. 'di ba? O ino-off yung aircon, ino-open yung window, o nangyayari o para makatipid ng kakarampot na centavo sa fuel, o 'di ba? Wrong mindset. Dapat gawin mo merong aircon yung sasakyan, pa-on mo yung aircon. O 'di ba magastos yun? Di increase mo yung cash inflow mo. Ganyan yung sagot. Ba kung magastos, kung meron kang gastos kasi pinag-aaral mo yung anak mo ng magiging doktor, dahil nag-aaral ng doktor ng anak mo, ikaw naman, wala ka nang ginawa, hindi ka na kumakain. O ano pa yung silbi nun, di ba? Dapat yung gawin mo, pag maraming expenses, maghanap ka ng paraan para mapalaki mo yung income. Tandaan, increase your inflow, engage in entrepreneurship, increase your inflow, engage in entrepreneurship. Yun yung cycle natin. Alright? So we will be right back for our last segment. This is Phil Bumita and you're listening to Training 009 by The Sand Shop.
Kahit ano, basta ikaw, walang problema. Kahit buhay ibibigay, ito'y pangako ko sinta. Dahil ayokong malayo sa'yo, magmukha man akong gago. Pagkat minamahal kita o giliw ko.
Alright, good evening. And we are down to our last segment for our training 009. We are live here in the city of Bacolod, the province of Negros Occidental, facing the Guimaras Strait and seaside Tango, Bacolod City. This is Phil Bombita, and I am your host, as always, sa training natin. And we are down to our last segment sa oras na to. And our last segment will talk about ano ba yung benefit and how can sense help you. We discussed a lot of things, and I hope you were able to listen closely to all of them. Pero yung conclusive na segment natin is how can sense benefit you, right? And how can sense help you, and how do you sell? Unang-una po sa lahat, isipin nyo na lang na ngayon, meron na kayong mga produkto pero hindi kayo nagpalabas ng capital. Yun yung benefit ng sense. Kasi you have the freedom to sell the product ng ibang franchise owners. Yun. So that's the first benefit. So yung tanong na nakukuha pa namin palagi is paano po ba kami magbebenta? Kasi syempre kailangan mo magbenta para kumita ka. Tuturuan ko po kayo ng isang brief but very effective technique. Ganito po 'yan. Merong dalawang magkaibigan dati, Tapos yung dalawang magkaibigan na 'to, nag-apply sila sa isang paggawaan ng sapatos. Ngayon, sabi nung una, "Sir, gusto ko po i-deploy nyo na ako kasi I think ready na ako para magbenta ng sapatos." Okay, sabi nung manager nila, "Sige, i-deploy kita sa ganitong lugar." Sabihin natin, i-deploy kita sa Area 1. Tapos yung pangalawa, sabi niya, "Sir, ako rin sir, ready na ako." Sabi niya, "Sige, i-dispose kita sa Area 2. Ganun. So, dinispose niya yung isang worker dun sa Area 2. Ngayon, yung Area 1, after niya dumating ng mga 1 week, sabi niya sa boss niya. Sabi niya, "Sir, mukhang malabo yung business dito. Mukhang malabo. Kasi, yung mga tao rito, nakapaa. Hindi nagsusuot ng sapatos, kaya hindi tayo makakabenta dito." Ganyan. Yun yung sabi ng first na worker. Ngayon yung sabi ng second na salesperson, sabi niya, "Sir, I have good news. Kasi yung mga tao dito nakapaa. Malaki yung market natin. Tayo yung kauna-unahang shoe factory and shoe reseller dito." So if nakita niyo po yung comparison, dalawang tao, same company, different mindset. Yung mindset ng isa ay wala yan. Kasi ganito na yan eh. Pero yung mindset ng isa, pwede pala yung ganito. Sige, i-try natin. So, ito yung tinatawag natin na target marketing. In other words, yung tinatarget mo ng product mo, yung isang matalinong business owner, alam mo kung sino yung target mo. And dun sa example natin, if nakita ninyo, yung second salesman, nakita nyo yung mga tao nakapaa. Sabi niya, target market ito. Bakit? Kasi nakapaa sila. Kailangan nila ng sapatos. Yung isa naman, hindi niya nakita na target market yun. Sabi niya, ay wala yan. Hindi sila pwede kasi nakapaa sila. So, meron sa sales at sa business tinatawag na target marketing. Ibig sabihin, since may mga product na tayo on-site, yung gagawin ninyo is hanapin ninyo yung mga tao na kailangan yung product ninyo. Halimbawa, sino ba yung mga tao na kailangan ng lipstick? Hindi yung mga babae, di ba? Yung lola ba, pwede mo pang bentahan ng lipstick yun matanda na yun, di ba? Mga lalaki, hindi yan gumagamit ng lipstick. Sino ba yung market ng ganito? Ng iPhone? Siyempre, hindi naman natin tao pwede maging market ng iPhone, di ba? So, kung titingnan ninyo sa malaking paraan, sa malaking in a wider perspective, dapat alam niyo kung sino yung bebentahan ninyo. So, dapat kayo as a business owner, yung gagawin niyo is kumuha rin kayo ng business plan ninyo. We provide to you the product, but we could not provide to you everything. So, dapat gumawa ka rin ng business plan. Parang negosyo siya. So, sino ba yung target audience ko na pwede kong bentahan ng product? Gumawa ka niyan. Sino ba? Okay. Sino ba yung pwede kong bentahan ng products na to? Ng mga ganito? Sino yung pwede kong bagsakan ng mga products na to? Ganun lang kasimple yun. Alam niyo po kasi, we highly discourage na mag-business kayo na parang patsamba eh. Na okay lang kung may bumili, okay lang kung wala. Hindi ganyan eh. You have to be aggressive. You have to create a system within you. Alam niyo po kasi, yung maraming mga Pilipino, they do not experience improvement in their financial life kasi hindi sila involved. Inaasa nila sa gobyerno, inaasa nila sa iba yung mga bagay na dapat nilang gawin, na dapat sila mismo, they are taking effort. They should be involved. Dapat involved kayo sa business, di ba? You have to be involved, guys. Dapat kayo pag business owner kayo, involved kayo, di ba? Bawal yung patsamba na okay lang pag may bumili, okay lang pag wala, di ba? You have to be visible. Kailangan nyo maging aggressive. Dapat visible kayo. Dapat nakikita kayo ng tao na meron kong binibentang product. Diba? Dapat ganyan. So, dapat maging visible kayo. Dapat gumawa kayo ng plan. So, sino ba yung pwede kong bentahan ng ganito, ng ganyan? So, ipakontak nyo yung mga taong ganyan. In other words, i-contact nyo yung mga taong kailangan ng product ninyo. That's called target marketing. It will save you time, energy, and effort, and it will generate good results for you. So, yun yung dapat mong gawin. Nasa sense na yung produkto, 'di ba? Nasa amin yung secured payment. Kayong bahala sa business kung paano niyo siya i-diskarte. Pero first thing you have to do, you have to know kung sino yung pwede mong bentahan. Stop yung pachamba method na kahit sino pwede. Hindi ganyan eh. You have to work with your target. So, yun. So, kung nagtatanong kayo paano kayo magbebenta, bahala kayo kung paano. Facebook, Twitter, mag-YouTube ka, mag-post ka ng advertisement sa labas ng ano mo. Ikaw ang bahala. Pero, what we are encouraging you to do is you have to know your target market. So, yun. If you know your target market, if you master the system well, it will help you to become a successful entrepreneur. And once again, in sense, we are more than just a company. We are a movement. Isa tayong samahan. We are one community who wants to help other people succeed. We want to help the farmers, ordinary people, OFWs. Gusto natin silang tulungan. And for us to be able to do that, we ourselves should be empowered. We need to watch the trainings, master the videos, think outside of the box. Guys, you have to be involved and you have to be responsible. Alright? Bawal yung tamad. Diba? Yung tamad, hindi aasenso yan. Diba? Go out from your comfort zone. Do something great. So that ends our training 009. Once again, this is Phil Bombita, and we would like to remind everyone to listen to our live broadcast on Monday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is once again Phil, live from our headquarters in Seaside, Bacolod City. Good night, everyone, and hope to see you again in training number 10.